Hello everyone. This time we're going to start the Moon series, the Moon sign series of astrology. This time talking about Jimin Moon sign. So I'm going to start by talking about what's a Moon sign. A Moon sign in astrology, it's that emotional side of ourselves. The way we the way our internal work is so and also about our childhood, our relationship with our mother, what kind of mother also we have, and especially what nurture our emotional world. I mean, what we need in our emotional world to feel fulfilled. And when we talk about emotional world, I'm talking about that aspect that we do not display so easily for others. It's something that it's really intimate and it's really secretive. So it's something that you have to be really close to the person to see its traits. But in this sense, since Jimin has like this, he is a Libra and he has like a moon in Gemini. So I wanted to talk about this and about him and his energies in a video only for himself, since he's the only member with an earth sign. So, and especially with a lot of energy of air in his birth chart. So that's why I wanted to dedicate a video for him. When it comes to his emotional needs, we have to take into consideration that it's like a great balance between the persona he displays, or maybe the Libra traits that we can see in his way of behaving in the spotlight, maybe, or in a public place. And in his inner world, he has the Gemini energy. So Libra and Gemini are both earth signs, so they are both very like similar in that sense, because they share this element. And air talks about communication, talks about being curious, talks about wanting to go and to connect with others, to have a conversation, to always be in constant moving, because the air element, it's all about changing, it's all about novelty, it's all about being able to be spontaneous, and also being able to always innovate and always renovate. So it's not an energy that you can like pin down. It's not someone that it's someone that needs a lot of freedom, a lot of space, and a lot of room for them to be able to be always free, and always have different possibilities and different ways of expressing themselves, and also getting to know new people is really important for them, since the earth signs tend to be really sociable. Especially when we talk about Jimin, one thing that I noticed about Libra and about Gemini signs that are his energy, is that they're both, besides being like signs that talk about the right balance, they also talk about duality. So if you can see, we have Gemini that is always ruled by the twins, and we have Libra that is ruled by the two balances. So it obviously talks about here about the nature of the person, about the duality, about the polarity, about being able to display different natures and to go from one to the other. For example, Jimin is really well known for being being sometimes perceived as cute, and then all of a sudden he gets on stage and maybe he does like a sexy performance or a more intense performance. So you can definitely see the duality between being cute and then being all of a sudden this different character that gains more intensity and more complexity. So for him, it's important to be able to be balanced and to be able to um, be open about his necessity of being free, of being um, of the ability of and the capacity to change. I mean, to transform himself, not to be always this person. For example, when you are an earth sign, for example, you are a Taurus, a Virgo, a Capricorn, these energies tend to be like really stable. So once they probably have like one trait or something, it's like they're always in that way. They are very stable in their emotions, they are very consistent, they are very reliable, they are very trustworthy. So it when you have air elements in your chart, in the case of Jimin, it means that you tend to always be subject to change. Actually, you look for change, you look for variety, you look for something that inspires you to keep learning, um, to keep moving on from one energy to another, and not to be caught up in one style. So, um, what's interesting about this duality aspect, it also talks about his Libra energy. That if you see the duality, you also see the number two, the two balances, the two people. So it definitely here we have to take into consideration that despite of him being really free spirit and being like really wanting to be always in constant movement and always wanting to learn new things and go to new places and meet new people, he's always like wanting to achieve this by getting to know someone. It's like when you have Libra energy, when you are a Libra, actually, it's like your purpose in life is to be able to achieve a greater knowing of yourself by exchanging with others, by relating to others, by being in relationship to others. It's like you cannot get to know yourself, or you cannot fulfill your whole destiny um, if you don't connect with others. It's like Libra needs that balance, needs someone to connect with, because on their own they are not able to sometimes accomplish that completion, that sense of wholeness. It's like they're always looking for the other half, as you can imagine. So when you have like a moon in Gemini, actually it makes you really eager to learn new things and also very communicative. I think I talked about this when I talked about his card in his reading, that the archetype, that the first one that came up was a networker. So when the networker archetype came up, I instantly thought about the moon in Gemini energy, because it's all about communications and building nets with others by communication, and also talks about being really sociable and being very flexible and being really capable of building relationships with others. Um, just for the sake of getting to know each other and being part of each other's lives, but just so they can nurture themselves and each other by getting to know each other, and perhaps exchanging information, exchanging knowledge. because for Gemini, knowledge is something that they are really passionate about. It's something that they are really always eager to learn. It's like when they start a conversation with you, they don't like small talk. They like to talk very like profound about things, about all kinds of subjects, because of course when we talk about air energy, it's all about changing. It's all about it's all about being able to not get caught in one subject. It's like that's why when the other archetype that came up for him was the diligent or the vigilante. I don't remember exactly the name in English, but it also made a reference to this nature about being capable of managing different crops, different different activities, but at the same time not being like too caught up in one. I mean, not like being specialized in one. Um, it's like taking a knowledge and learn something new and then move on to the next thing. I think I talk about it in his reading. It's about not having a single or maybe like one trade or one specialization. I mean that you can say, oh, he studied this and he specializes in it. It's like he likes to learn about new things, and he doesn't spend a lot of time in that same thing. Maybe they are one day they're curious about one activity or one craft or one piece of information they gathered, and they find it interesting, and maybe they read about it, they learned about it, they practiced it, but then they move on to the next thing. It's not that they stay like stable in one thing. So this can also be give the others like like a perception that he is like really like that he is not stable enough, or that he maybe when it comes to his attention span, it's like he's always searching for something new, or maybe he's always wanting to meet new people, to always establishing connections and always like getting to know someone. And it's like they have this energy where they have to keep entertained in some aspects, because they tend to get like a bit like anxious, and it's because of all this Mercury energy. Gemini is ruled by Mercury, so it means that for Jimin emotionally, he needs to have like a lot of friends, or maybe a lot of connections where he feels that he can grow and that he can learn from them, and then eventually it's like always being in a constant move. It's not, he's probably the kind of person that maybe when he was younger, he had like a group of closer friends, and then all of a sudden, it's like life eventually makes him like grow and have a different perspective, and maybe meeting new people. So maybe the 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 people that used to be his friends are not his friends anymore, and he now has like a new friends, a new niche. It's like he's always constantly changing. Like maybe, I don't know, when he was younger, he had friends that were from a certain group, and now he has a new friends with other different interests. So he is always constantly changing in that sense. When you have like a moon in Gemini, it means that in your childhood, the learning process and learning new things, and maybe he learned how to talk and how to read at a young age, because his mother is like this Mercurial and Gemini energy, where she taught him to that it's important to gain knowledge, that it's important to know things, to learn things. It's important to read. It's important to be updated about information. So he probably, when he was younger, was like very talkative, very very fluent in the way. He probably learned to speak at a very young age, and or learned to read at a young age. And when you are a moon in Gemini, you tend to be really communicative, very talkative. It's as if they are not very good with emotions, because actually the moon, the earth moons are not very emotional, but they are good at putting their emotions into words. So he can definitely say with words, or maybe write what he feels. He's really good at that. He's really good. That's why maybe if he ever feels anxious about something, maybe like a therapy where he can talk about and put into words how he feels is the best way for him to learn. And since we are talking about mental health and all, we have to take into consideration that the earth elements are ruled by the intellect, by the thoughts, the idea, the mental processes. So when you have like like a lot of earth energy, you tend to be like really mental, like you tend to have like a lot of thoughts in your head, so you're constantly thinking, and this can lead to other overthinking. So whenever they get like anxious, or they're anxious about something, they tend to get too caught up in their thoughts, and maybe this causes them insomnia and other issues that keeps him from being concentrated. It's like he cannot stop thinking about something that maybe emotionally affects him. So it's really important for him to be able to relax in that sense, and to be able to find like a uh, therapies, or maybe some kinds of activities where he can express what he thinks, and so maybe he can relax a bit, and maybe not being always on his mind, like always thinking and rethinking things over and over, because he can get like really into his mind, and that's not healthy. And so overthinking is something that they do. It's hard for him to let go of things once it happens. So especially because he has other placements in his birth charts that are very like scorpionic like, so he tends to get like a bit like obsessive about things. But I think one thing I realized about Jimin's birth chart is that he lacks earth elements. He doesn't have earth elements in his chart. He doesn't have planets in earth signs, like he doesn't have planets in Taurus or Virgo or Capricorn. So that makes a lot of sense that it's like a coincidence that he is in a group where the members, they are mostly all of them, they have earth energies, because and he's the only one that has earth energy, which also brings like a change into the dynamic, because earth brings novelty, earth brings adaptability, and flexibility. So it's really good. He brings that movement into the energy of the others' birth charts. Because, for example, three of them are, Namjoon, JK, and Taeyong. The three of them are Earth signs because they are Virgos and Capricorn, and also, like I talked in the earlier video, Yoongi and Hobby are Earth moons because they are Virgo moon and Taurus moon, so they also have like a big load of Earth energy, and probably Jin has like a lot of fire energy, but at the same time he has like a Venus in Capricorn, so he has in emotionally he has this very Capricorn stable and reliable emotional expression. So um, so that's why I think it's good for him to be near the members and to be near these people that have a lot of elements in their birth charts that are exactly what he's lacking and what he needs to learn from. Because when you have too much air in your chart, sometimes you lack stability. You need to always been able to count and to rely on people that has this earth and stable energy, so you can learn from them, so he can nurture himself from them, and at the same time he also provides them with this flexible and very playful and very funny and very like independent and also very free spirit. Actually, Gemini's moons are really funny. They are really, since they are really like very witty intellectually, they tend to be really like funny and really like comedian like, because they tend to come up with these ideas, or with this maybe sharing a story, or sharing like an anecdote, and they always, the way they perform, and sometimes the way they talk and the way they manage, it's really funny. It's really like they are really very smart people, very intelligent people, um, and they bring that flexibility and that ability of being able to be like a child, to be like very spontaneous in that way, because Gemini represents that part of ourselves. I already said it, that the Aries energy is like the baby of the zodiac. Well, the Gemini energy is actually the part of where the child is in this phase of wanting to learn everything. When, for example, he's like 3 or 4 year old, that is always asking about everything. He's always asking why, he's always asking questions, he's always wanting to know how things work and why things are like that, because Gemini energy makes you really curious. So that's why Jimin it's always so attentive, and it's always like really interested in engaging in a conversation with someone, and he is always like eager to learn and to know more from you. And they're really good also with the technology, and with, like already stated in the networker, to text you, to email you, to talk on the phone. They like to communicate with technology. So thank you guys for being here again. This was my interpretation for Jimin's energies in astrology and his moon sign. So I really appreciate if you give it a like and if you subscribe to my channel. So thank you so much for being here, and see you in the next interpretation that will be Tae Young's and JK's moon signs. See you.